I like that image from Justin on MTG. Looks pretty cool.
The what?
Thanks.
I like the image for Justin IMTG.
Oh yeah.
Purple I appreciate that. Thank
you. Okay. So you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Well, we should be live now, and let me get you guys the link.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You are live.
Okay. What is that?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay. Well, I'm just copying to throw in the various Facebook chats. So if you guys aren't in, you already told you guys go ahead and go onto the YouTube and mute it on YouTube so we don't get the infinite echo. And we should be good. Okay. So that one. We are live. Okay. And am I missing something? Okay. Sorry, the most professional start ever. All right. Okay. Sweet. All right. Well, guys, welcome for all y'all just joining us right now. Hey, Dobby, how you doing, buddy? This is the first ever MTG Round Table. I'm hoping to eventually get the other program working right. That way we can keep it steady and slightly more professional. Just slightly. All right. So who do we got in the chat right now? Go ahead and go. We'll start off with Cryptic Commander. Just introduce yourself, tell what you do, and say pass on to the next one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm John Nospe. I am one of the hosts over on the Cryptic Commander. Mainly, it's a podcast. You can find anywhere you get your podcasts. We just cater toward the beginners and the players that are learning. We do try to cover news and information for advanced and expert players also. We also have celebrities come on. But yeah, there's a lot tied into it, like YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I'll go ahead and say pass.
All right, next. Justin,
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry. This is Justin. I run Justin IMTG along with my son, Thing 2. We do mainly pack openings on YouTube, and we'll play games occasionally, and then we'll do giveaway stuff in live videos occasionally. And we're kind of feeling things out in terms of that. But we'll also do a fairly regular tournament, like a pack opening tournament called Pack Cracking Cup, about every 2 months or so.
Nice.
It's pretty fun, but yeah, that's what we got. So I'll pass to.
All right. So last one that's in the chat currently is Joshua, and tell us a little about your channel. I know you haven't posted in a while because you moved, but go ahead. Did we lose him? Hello. Joshua, you there, bud? Okay. We'll get him back. I know he said he had some internet issues, so okay. So let's see. Drop out, and join call. Okay. We have one other person with us, so and he's actually one of. There we go, Joshua. There, bud. Kind of. Okay, no, Justin I has his muted currently. Oh, I hear something. All right. Well, so here's what's going on today, guys. We are doing a roundtable discussion. I'm going to bring up some topics, and then we are going to discuss said topics. So keep it pretty simple, and we'll go roundtable, and then everyone can kind of chime in and talk and do their thing. So pretty fun. I'm going to eventually have this set up a little bit better next time. And yeah, there we go. Okay. So, hi, Charles. How's it going, bud? Oh, I see. Okay, so Joshua is joined with us, and he is. Give me a second. Sorry, the professionalism is just insane. Okay. All right, so we got Swordman Josh with us, but he's having some mic issues, so he's going to figure it out and hopefully join us here in a bit. Is nice also okay? Okay. Are you cutting out too, John?
No. I think I hear him trying to come in.
Okay. I think Justin I just has us muted so that we can help figure Josh's situation out.
Precisely.
Yeah, okay. Good job. Okay. And I'm still waiting. Moxman said he was going to be in, but he didn't tell me what platform he wants to use to get a hold of me. So I don't know what's up. Probably still getting back from work. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Charles. Yeah, that I know. That's a rough one, man. I've been talking to you about it. Okay. Yeah, he's going to try to switch mics. All right. So, just try to iron out the technical difficulties, guys, but we're working on it. Anyways, so just want to shout out everyone that's here. Thank you so much for coming on the channel. I did manage to put them in the description, so if you guys can, go ahead and shoot over to their profile and give them a little bit of love and add them on on the Cryptic Commander. You do a podcast about once a week, right?
Correct, yes. We do a podcast every Saturday.
Okay. And I'm actually going to be on it tomorrow, Saturday, so I'm nervous.
Correct. You don't have to be, man. We stick by our mission statement. It's pretty basic. Magic the Gathering is best with a communal experience.
Yeah.
And a big part of that's when it's stepping up and get assistance where needed makes it far more enjoyable. And that's what we stick to.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, because I was like, well, you're going to tell me what's up? And you're like, I will. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, was that you, Justin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Moxman was telling me that he only had 30 minutes, but I haven't heard from him. So, let's see. What should we bring up first? Oh yeah, let's have a fun one. We'll start off simple. What's your favorite card, single card from Kaldheim? Let's go ahead with you, Justin.
Single card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know. I can't help but I know this is probably kind of cliche, but I really can't help but love Vorinclex. I'm a green stompy kind of guy.
Nice.
And then the whole doubling thing. Yeah, I had to dive right in on that. I'm waiting on a copy to come my way, but I don't have it quite yet.
Yeah,
Vorinclex is cool.
Hey, there it is. You didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, I switched some mics up.
Ah, beautiful. So
perfect.
Awesome on Voraclex. Definitely love it. Let's go and have you. Let's retroactively go back and introduce yourself, Joshua.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, my channel's not completely Magic related. I do a lot of first-person RPG type games in there, like Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior, and I pretty much just tried to stream them beginning to end. But then on the Magic side, I also do some deck text and box openings.
Oh, cool. So you kind of are a mix of all trades, right?
Well, I do what I love, and it's there more for my enjoyment, and so that way my kids and my grandkids can see the cool things that their dad or grandfather got to do rather than for the number of subscribers that I have.
I get that. That's cool and noble, and also I'm really stoked to have a fellow Reject brother on the air. So I've been in with that.
I'm the soul fryer.
Yeah. No worries, man. But hey, I was just stoked that one of you guys just said, "Yeah, let's go," and I was like, "Cool, man," and you're here, so stoked on that. So let's since you're already there, but what's your favorite single card from Kaldheim?
I'm a degenerate, so of course it would be Turgid. I mean, Turgid came out, and I opened the full Monty foil alternate art, and I'm a commander player. I just had to build a Turgid deck.
Nice. And just so I don't have to look it up, what was the card? Do you remember or no?
Yeah, it's Turgid, and then on the backside it's the lantern. So Turgid is, let's see if I can remember off the top of my head.
Sure.
It's basically It That Betrays for 5 mana, I believe. So yeah, it's a pretty nasty card.
Nice. And how about you?
And then,
John?
of course, if you make infinite,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you make infinite black mana, then it's an auto win on the backside with the lantern.
Ah, nice.
With Turgid's lantern.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to mess with it yet. So to be perfectly honest, it looked like a super fun card, though. The one I keep seeing is Egon. But all right, and then let's go over to John.
That would be the Nudes of All.
Oh yeah. Okay, and why?
Because it's better than the original.
That's like all of them, I think. Yeah. It's expensive, man. 7. I mean, I know it's easier to ramp nowadays, but
that's okay. It's better than the original. It's all I care about.
Yeah.
So you don't like Valky on the front side? You just like Tybalt on the back side?
I just like the Vault on the back side. Yeah.
That sounds dirty.
I'm a mono blue player. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way you would get.
No, I hear that. And thing too, thanks for joining in. Your pop's on the line. So if you haven't subscribed already, guys, go ahead and smash that like button. And of course, subscribe. Really appreciate it. We're getting close, guys. I'm getting close to that 350, giving away that sweet merch dice bag and some other goodies. So I'm super stoked. All right. So I guess it's my turn. I'm gonna say not Voraclex, but Varagoth. Because Varagoth is a tutor on a stick. Plus the art is phenomenal. I actually had that. Hold on. I mean, bruh.
The alternate art, yeah.
I was gonna say which version of the artwork there.
Yeah, no, the alternate art.
Oh yeah.
And I really want to get a signed of that and see if there's a mat available because it's Ian Miller, and he's like one of the original artists for heavy metal back in the day. So he does a lot of cool, like gnarly, like art. And if you guys seen Ken Mayer talk about it in the interview that I had a while back, he'll tell you that his art is very fevered, and you could tell. I'm not sure if you could tell in this right here, but there's actually more going on in the red skylight, the red sky. Plus, there's I'm thinking it's a shout out to the Evil Dead with the random like building over here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much.
While we're talking about art,
Yeah.
not sponsored in any way, but right now, for those that are interested, that since we're streaming,
Yeah.
Seb McKinnon's fourth Kickstarter campaign went live. So if you guys want to go over to Kickstarter and check out some of Seb McKinnon's artwork, it's amazing too.
Yeah.
Nice.
I commented on that as I saw it.
Yeah, one of my Patreons told me about it. So he bought 4 of them.
Hopefully they got in the first 1,000 so they could get some artist proofs.
Oh, okay. Steve just popped in and had to pop out because he's got to make some money. All right, fair enough, Steve. We'll see you soon. Yeah, I saw that, but I guess the first 1,000, because they're only going to do 1,000 mats, is already taken up. Is what I saw, but it is pretty cool because it's old Seb art. So, okay.
Only Damnation was 1,000 mats, and then it's 1,000 artist proofs for the first 1,000 members.
Oh, I see. So they didn't get a mat, or they just got the proof? I'm a little confused. I'm sorry.
The first 1,000 people that back the Kickstarter get a random artist proof, but the Damnation play mat, if I read it correctly, he's only going to do a maximum of 1,000 Damnation play mats. So when it gets to the backer kit, the first 1,000 people who claim a Damnation play mat, those are the only people who will get that play mat.
All right. I was going to say hi to a few people in the chat. I'd really like to see if they're going to do Verka, the Blood Sky Sire playmat, because that would just be phenomenal. I'm not sure if I have to like get hold of their people to do it or whatnot. I know that the Veraclex is out there for the alt art, which is pretty sick. I really want to pick it up. I think I saw that on Drummer J's. Oh, good. So you guys are hearing me. Again, I got to DXJ. Thanks again, man. I responded to you while they were talking. Card Drummer J, thanks for coming, brother. Of course, Dobby, thank you too. And who else we got in here? Yeah, I think that's it for right now. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So we're going to get back to Steve, but we pretty much got everyone that's in here as far as the favorite card from Kaldheim. Now, what is bothering you on Arena right now? There's so much going on that it's just like I try to go in and like rogues just stomp. You know what I mean? Still stomping.
I gave up. I admit it. I gave up on Arena, I don't know, 3 months ago. I got so tired of those predatory practices on Arena with getting duplicates of temples that you got in a previous set, and I gave up on Arena.
Really?
Until they fix those issues with it, I'll wait for this whole COVID thing to be over and play paper.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only issue I see with Arena right now, on my end, is sometimes we'll hang up on the initial startup when I load a game, and it'll turn out to be a draw, and then I'll have to restart the client.
Well, I haven't. I actually just got in on it. I mean, I played it before, and I had a good amount of cards going. But yeah, I was got beat up by Scoot Storm, got beat up by Rogues, got managed to stick it to a white player, so that was fun. But also, I have a pink deck, so whatever, you know. Trying Elf Rogues, and you know, since I didn't get to play, like I'm more like I have to play like physical, like in hand. Like I really didn't get a chance to do drafts. So I was messing around with draft, and all I really want to do is draft. But unfortunately, you know, that's money. I already used up my free coin. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, right? Yeah, I mean that's my That's kind of my thing too. I don't play a lot of Arena, mostly because I would like to draft, if anything, but I don't really want to spend the money on it.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at too. So unless you want to grind out for the free money
Right.
and then exchange it over for gems to be able to do all that fun stuff, it kind of sucks. And then with the way things go in Arena, and actually the tier matching kind of sucks too, because if you're playing a certain deck, it seems like you're always matched up against same 5 or 6 different style decks over and over and over again. It gets boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I hear that. And it's even at the bronze level. So, I mean, the bronze level, it should have... okay. Sorry. The bronze level, they're playing 2-1 decks. I mean, I think at bronze level, it should be a little bit more, I don't know, unique decks or people, deck teching or throwing stuff out there. But no, everyone's just net decking. It's just really...
It's cute. You gotta admit, it's cute though.
Yeah. Yeah, they're net decking, but they're still at bronze. What are you doing wrong?
Yeah. If everybody's net decking in bronze, you got some pros and mythic just going, I think I'm gonna homebrew for a while, something different. It's like, yeah, but everybody in bronze?
Yeah.
That's cute, man.
Yeah, well, I haven't had time to put into it. I think the highest I ever got was silver. And then I just refuse to net deck, so I'm always going in as the homebrew, So
yeah, I made diamond a couple of times, but then I got tired of the grind.
Yeah,
Diamond 2 is the top. Diamond 2 is the highest I've been.
Yeah, no, and then there are people I'm hearing, they're on mythic and all that. And I'm like, that's awesome. I just don't have that time and patience, mainly. Oh boy. Okay.
Yes. My friend Ben Morris over there, he's a Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
He was 94% last night. Yeah.
94%.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was cool was he was losing at the start of the stream.
Yeah.
And then toward the middle, the whole crowd was like helping him change his deck and stuff. And then toward the end of the stream, he not only got back to where he was ranked, but higher, So it was pretty fun last night.
All right, and now, first question for the live chat. Let's get you guys involved. Mention what your favorite Kaldheim card is, and then let us know what your beef is with Arena. Now, on the positive side, what's your favorite thing about Arena? And you can go old school too if you quit, guys. So let's go and start off with Joshua.
Well, I'll just switch over to Spell Table then, if you don't mind, because
Sure.
I haven't been playing on Arena, but I have been playing on Spell Table.
Nice.
Which is an amazing client for being able to play up to 4-player Commander, which is what I've been playing on there, just casual Commander.
Nice.
So the interface is very snazzy, and the game setup's snazzy. The only problem with that is if somebody doesn't have a good video camera so you can see their cards, but the interface is great, in my opinion.
Nice.
I've been meaning to check that out. I haven't had a chance.
Yeah, there's actually multiple different Discord servers that will then link straight into Spell Table for matchmaking.
Okay.
Correct, yes.
John, why don't you go and go? Yeah. I'm listening.
You said John? Okay.
Yeah.
I partner with a Facebook group, Magic the Gathering Players Group.
Yeah.
And in the Discord there's a lot of people in the Discord room. You guys know about Discord. I'm sure everybody here has their own Discord, right? But over in this Facebook group, they just cater toward helping everybody get going. And, via webcam, your phone, however, and like he said, Spell Table. So I think going on these Discords is a good way of getting the game going. I agree with the Spell Table. My favorite part about Magic the Gathering Arena, to me, it's the simple things in life. The updates they're doing, like the fact that you can talk to people and now play on different devices like phones.
Yeah, that's neat. And how about you, Justin?
Well, I don't get on Arena a lot, and actually, I love the fact that they're putting it on phones. I just unfortunately have an iPhone, so I don't even get it there yet. But I think right now it's just the ability to play at all. You know, whether it's an Arena or you know any other functionality, just being able to play. You can't go into an LGS now and play. You can't go out generally anywhere, and so yeah, just the ability to play at all.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that is definitely a fun thing. So I stepped away from Mike. All right, let's see what a few people said here. All right, so thing 2 loves Narfi and Olvar. All right. Dobby, how about you? Sorry, I'm asking Dobby. All right.
Orvar can definitely be a very degenerate commander for sure.
Oh, I bet.
Nothing like mono blue rank.
Has anybody tried Rick out yet? Mono white?
From Secret Lair, Rick Steadfast.
Yeah.
My son and my stepson's building around him right now, but he doesn't have all the pieces. So I look forward to that in the next couple of months.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So Charles says being on bed rest makes it to where he can play. So that's cool. It's still fun to connect and play online. No, it just seems totally unpersonal because you can say hello, nice, or like, I'm thinking, or your go, and sometimes you just like, I don't know. The thing I dislike the most, besides getting my butt kicked 24/7, is the lag, man. The lag just kills. It's like you're a blue player. Play a blue land, dude. Really? You have to think to counter that for like an hour? Are you serious? Or
yeah.
You play.
You always have to question whether you're getting roped or not.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Dobby says the good thing around Arena is that you can get to try some deck you wouldn't spend money on. Hey, that's a good call, Dobby. Yeah. Is it? You can try Is It on Arena, but not Is It player. Yeah, I totally agree. Me personally, I stick to my 3 colors, but I will mess around with white and blue on Arena. Although I try to avoid blue like the plague, if at all possible. So, there's a lot of people that like to rope. Okay, is that
they like to? Yeah, I think he's trying to say that there's a lot of people who like to try to time you out so you get disgruntled and just concede.
Right.
Which is a lame play. It's just like the old thing of Magic players going to Magic store and they purposely don't shower so that maybe you quit. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I swear it's a ploy, and that's what us Magic players always get stereotyped as, because you go into a Magic tournament and you're like, oh, you're like, oh, yeah. You walk in there with like, 5 cans for Breeze and you're good, All right.
I'll tell you what, our Magic players at our LGS are great in terms of bathing, but the Star Wars guys came in, and man, you could smell them from across the room. Not that I want to bash on the Star Wars guys playing with Star Wars minis. It looks pretty cool, but I don't know that I can close enough to play with them at LGS.
Yeah. Honestly, I played X-Wing back before I got back into Magic again, which I was kind of roped into, and I'm like, anyway. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but like, bruh, I was not planning on losing all my money. But here I am. But
speaking of roping, though, you said a minute ago roping.
Yeah.
I think too. Some people. When I first played Magic Gathering Arena last year, the first time, I was on a PC, and my PC was a little bit outdated.
Yeah.
And if they roped me enough, my computer would just shut me out of the game anyway, and I had to restart the computer. And by the time it got back up, I already lost that game. So I was like, just mad at it, just the fact that, I'm hurting my rank. And I thought it was a big deal back then when I started,
Yeah.
But now I just know, you're going to lose anyway. The game's going to crash anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, come on, guys. I mean, you already have a broken deck. Why you got to time me out? It's just like, really? I don't know. It's just cheese. And, granted, some people actually do have problems with their computer or matching or whatnot. But, yeah, it's just kind of,
Or children, or going to get eat, or
that's what I do.
Out, or...
Well, I only do that when I face a control player. So I'm just like, oh, yeah, you're going to do it to me? All right, cool. I'm going to take an hour to place a green land.
I hear the gripe a lot about the roping, though.
Yeah.
It's not just here or there. You hear it nowadays, almost as you hear it about the reserve list or net decking versus not net decking. These arguments are just, I hate to say history repeats itself, but they're not going anywhere.
No. No, it's not. But all right, let's move on to something else here. Now, some of you guys have a little bit of expertise. I know Joshua has been in. He's in with the big boys on Rejected Rejects. Love that group. Freaking awesome. Glad to have another fellow brother on the air with me. So let's talk a little bit about finance. What surprises you recently? I guess it's kind of a generic question. Sorry. I don't know. Let's start off with you, Josh. What has surprised you about the market lately?
To be honest, I guess the spike in the reserve list is what everybody's going to think of. And while I'm not particularly surprised about it, thinking that multiple of the cards were undervalued, it is kind of interesting how much it is spiking. And to follow that thread, I'm actually curious in 20 or 25 years, because I know they say that Magic is one of the biggest growing games out there. And while I understand that, when I go to LGSs or the LGSs around me, I don't see a lot of teenagers playing the game. And of course, I'm in the middle of the country in Indiana, so I don't know if that's different on the coasts. But it makes me really question whether those reserve list cards will hold the same kind of value in 20 or 30 years, because at my LGS, it's a bunch of people in my age bracket between the ages of 30 and 45 that grew up with the game when it came out, and they're coming back to it for the nostalgia and wanting to have that gathering portion of it. So if we don't have that younger player base, it'll be interesting to see whether the reserve list actually does hold value as collector's items, or if it drops off because you don't have a younger player base that actually wants to collect the game anymore.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree with that, though. Before I go on to my question or my answer,
yeah,
I want to say that I look at my dad as an example.
Yeah.
Stuff he grew up with, you saw the trend of the prices go up, and then as the years came on, they went down and then down. I almost think if Magic's going that way too, where people aren't interested in that, now they're interested in Transformers or Xboxes, the market's not there. The fad isn't there. The trend isn't there.
And from the paper standpoint, a lot of people are moving to digital, and if they're not moving to digital, they're moving digital Magic. I mean, they're moving to digital video games, or with the advent of VR, that technology is coming further and further every year. And the idea of playing paper Magic, I just don't know if it'll be there. I'm invested in the reserve list, and I'm invested in sealed product. I will admit that. Yeah. I'm just curious whether that investment will hold water in 30 years when I get ready to retire.
Yeah, I understand that. And, Rudy says it's a bubble, so he thinks it is. Anyways, on reserve list, I don't think we're going to see too many drops in that, because basically a reprint set killed Modern. And a lot of the value was in Modern too. I mean, not as much as reserve list naturally, but a lot of Modern players have got out of the game because now all their cards are worthless. Liliana used to be $150. Now it's like 30, 40, $50,
I think the thing to answer, maybe not a turn. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, man. It's fine.
Well, my answer to your question would be secret layers.
Well, yeah.
Because, a long time ago, there wasn't your local game store. There was a Wizard of the Coast store,
Yeah.
And then they closed the doors down to that. And then it's like, hey, we've already done this and it failed. If you guys want to do this, go ahead and we'll give you marketing material, go ahead. And then now all of a sudden they're doing secret layers. It's like, but we're going to give the local game stores their certain one where they can get profits and help them get up. Well, that's cool. How about give them all to the local game stores?
Yeah,
that's my opinion. But
they gave the ones to local game stores that nobody can afford. Secret Layer Ultimate Fetch Land Edition or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah.
Give each LGS 2 copies at $200, $300, $400 a piece, and yeah, that one's rough.
That was like the mark of no MSRP anymore, right?
Yes.
So I mean, that was the answer to your question on my end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How about you, Justin?
I don't personally get into the finance too much. I've never felt really good about investing too heavily into collectibles. But at the same time, I think the thing that really does surprise me though is the value of sealed compared to the same box's expected value if you opened it.
Yeah,
kind of blows my mind. Where it's sometimes twice the value of keeping it sealed versus what's inside.
Now you're referring more to the old boxes, I'm assuming.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
Now you guys know about mapping, right?
Yeah.
For the sets that can be mapped, yeah, sure.
Right. I was going to ask what sets can't be mapped.
Oh.
I did that research a long time ago because I don't have a whole lot of old boxes, but there was a break-off period in probably from Silver Age, I'd probably say, where they got better at the randomization. I mean, you can figure out that there may be one box in a case that has the case hit. For example, the Phyrexian Vorinclex or the Jeweled Lotus. But to be able to map an entire booster box, that one's a little more difficult in the modern day.
I just think the technology's still there, and they're getting better and better. I mean, it's always been a battle of good guys versus bad guys. The bad guys being one step ahead of the good guys, and the good guys trying to get the technology. And the bad guys, I mean, it's always been that back and forth,
Oh, I agree with you. I'm sure there's a way to still map everything now. We probably, as the general populist community, just don't have enough pieces of the puzzle to put it together.
I just was curious about your guys' thoughts since you were on that subject.
Yeah, no, I personally have never been able to do that. Plus, most of the stores, they just grab you a random pack if you want to get a pack. So it's not like you have a chance to map. And it gets a little deeper than that. It gets deeper than that. Okay. Well, what do you mean then? I know what mapping is, but before we go any further, DXDJ, what you missed was, what was your favorite card from Kaldheim? And then second question was, good about Arena, what's bad about Arena? So 2 questions there. So 3 questions. Right now we're discussing finance a little bit, kind of loosely. So that's it, man. So yeah, go and answer those questions, DXDJ. World 3, yes, good call. That's a fun one, man. Love putting all those gods in, although I don't really run a 5-color deck, but it still looks super fun. So on mapping though, like if you got a case, like you would know it would be like the second box down, that's a good one, and sell off the rest. I mean, what do you mean?
No, it's per box.
Per box. Okay.
You have to open so many packs in a box, and then by opening certain packs, you can figure out where the rest of the hits are in that box. Is the principle behind it. So generally, you have to open for example, in a box, you may have to open 10% of the box, and then you can map the rest of it. So you can figure out which 3 packs are good packs, and then dump the rest of the box and sell it as singles.
Even you listen to notes and do repacks.
Oh yeah, the repacks. Yeah. Oh, we got a new person. All right, Steve, go ahead and kill the audio on YouTube. All right, that do the trick.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Oh no, he muted the mic. Oh, we just lost Justin. Oh.
Oh.
All right. Well, we got Steve here, and he's representing 570 Gaming. You want to tell us a little bit about 570?
Yeah, well, all about myself. Luke and I came up with the idea. We had a love for Magic for years. We both played it when we were in high school. Got away from it for a couple of years. I mean, I own my own moving company and stuff, so I'm busy all year round. And he messaged me one day. He's like, "Hey, bud, still got your Magic cards?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, somewhere." And dug it back out. And I started reinvesting in some product. Getting a pretty awesome deal. And now we got the channel. So it's only been up and running for a few short months. Been doing well with it. It's been a good time. I heard you guys talking earlier about some of the decks and stuff you run. I used to run mono green. That's what I started running. I had a big love for mono green and black.
Nice.
And then I just expanded. I have, since I got back into it, I probably bought over, I don't know, probably 10,000 cards in the past couple months. Expanded to, I run mono black in standard. I have probably 6 or 7 decks I have built for standard. I got into building a Tron deck for modern, and now I'm wondering what's going to happen with modern.
Yeah.
Which version of Tron, though?
See, I have an Eldrazi Tron.
Oh boy.
I also run Eldrazi Tron and Blue Tron.
Dude, nice. Yeah, I'm just learning. Like, I got into the mechanics of Tron. I'm pretty much trying to master all of it and see like what the best angle is for the fastest competition, and to whenever they allow sanctioned events again. Hoping that to happen sometime this year. That would be pretty sweet.
Well,
anybody have any insight on that?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing with modern, I thought that scared everyone else besides paper play not being possible is that they reprint a set, everyone freaks out.
Yeah.
There's a real bad echo.
There is.
I think it's the last person jumped on. There's a volume on YouTube.
I think it's Steve.
Yeah.
I just adjusted.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit. You're still getting a little bit, but you have YouTube muted, right? Okay, I think we're good now. Or we'll just kind of work around it.
Good now.
Yeah.
Sounds good from my end, too.
Beautiful.
Do we
Okay.
have Steve with us?
Yeah, so Justin, I guess, got booted somehow. Just join the call. Okay. Bummer thing too. Okay, that's what happened. Yeah, he I guess the internet blipped out. All right. So yeah, speaking of modern, do you think it's just the reprint stat that's scared everyone off? I mean, because the value just plummeted, and not even on the cards that weren't reprinted, people just freaked out, and now everyone's going reserve list because they can't touch it. I get that, but I mean, modern's just like, what happened to modern?
Well, I mean, with what's going on with the world today, it's kind of putting a damper on things.
Yeah, no, I know that, yeah, but is it maybe because of the same deck, same play, same brokenness, or what?
I mean, you're going to have the spell table version, right? You're going to play, or you're going to have online cockatrice, maybe. There's only you're going to play it digitally, basically.
Yeah,
and you also have MTGO.
Right,
yeah, online, right?
Yeah,
you're going to be playing it virtually, no matter what, until things get back to normal, if they ever do. That's when modern will be a thing again, man. I mean, I'm a modern player at heart too.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite forms. But I got excited when they brought it back from the store, and then just when everything started as a halt, everybody's just in the same boat. It's like, well, that was good while it lasted,
Yeah.
But just see where it goes, man.
For sure.
Pioneer was a big too. Pioneer was a big hit. The only way you're gonna play that right now is virtual too.
Yeah, it started to take off pretty good, and then the whole world situation happened.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I still report on it on my show.
Yeah.
There's Facebook groups out and people like that love Pioneer.
Yeah, I saw a big build up on that, but it was. You guys ever listen to Desolator Magic? Because he's always griping.
I listen to him sometimes. I can only take so much of him.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to stand on the Fifth Amendment on this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to comment on this.
Yeah, no, it's probably a good call, but I'm sorry, I'm not trying to call anyone out. It's just sometimes some of the stuff that he brings up, though, it is, people are just playing the same broken stuff that was back during that time. I mean, I kind of get it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll leave that one alone. I'm sorry. All right. So, I picked the last two topics. John, how about you pick one?
Okay.
I know, right?
Okay. So I'll start by like what you said. Everybody, one at a time. Where do you see the game of Magic the Gathering 10 years from now?
Oof.
Yeah, there you go. He's laughing. Okay.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
The question is is the power creep going to continue at such a level that we end up with what is it? Yu-Gi-Oh! That power crept. Sorry for my language. Power crept to the point where not too many people played anymore, if my memory serves.
Yeah.
So it depends. It's going to be really hard for WotC to take the steps backwards on the power scale to make it so that way they can move forwards again. If they keep going with the rate that they are with the power creep that they're going in 10 years, I'm very concerned for the game.
Okay, yeah. If history repeats itself, then we know that is. Okay. Steve, what do you think?
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry. Did you say me?
Steve.
Steve? Oh, we might have lost him.
Steve said, yeah, we lost Steve. He said he had to head to work quick. Snow removal calls.
Yeah, okay. So what about Justin?
I'm still here. Sorry.
Oh, there's Steve.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
The question was on you, Steve. Where do you see the game Magic the Gathering in 10 years from now?
Well, I mean, as long as the world doesn't get flipped upside down itself, which is in the works of now, along with the power thing there, I could see it definitely being around for sure. But like, I think that if Watsy doesn't really slow down on the mainstream of the game, it's not going to last. Like when they developed it back in the 1990s, I mean, I don't know if you guys, I've watched some other streams, all that stuff, all the conversations about it. Like when it was developed, I'm not, naming names or calling people now, but it was developed for nerds, people like mine. I'll be honest, I'm a nerd. I'm into all that stuff,
right.
Trading cards and things like of that, and where people were picked on for buying it and stuff like that. And now it's more developed into trying to adapt to more of a mainstream thing, which I think is going to bring it to a screeching halt where it becomes more of a fad instead of,
Yeah, well, right now I'll one step in. I see a problem. Yeah, exactly what you guys are saying with the power creep constantly creeping. It's going to kill the game, but the game's going to stick around forever. I mean, Commander is pretty much the lifeline right now for all formats, and Commander's not going to go anywhere. So there's constantly going to be a demand for different cards, different stuff for Commander at least. But with the power creep, they're just trying to take care of Papa Hasbro. So if there's not some super broken card that you can't win on turn 1 or turn 2 or turn 3, it's not going to sell. I mean, they have to do like a few Kamigawa sets to calm things down, and then maybe they can fix the game. But would it sell? There'd be no point to buy said Kamigawa set to kind of reset everything. I think Dominario is kind of
Soul
like
Shift
that too.
5 coming back.
Yeah.
Before I answer it, Justin's still with us?
Yeah, I'm back. If you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, long story there, but
The question was on you. Do you need to repeat the question or no?
No, I got it. I don't know that I have a lot to add to that. All I was thinking about, though, to tie it back to the finance thing we were talking before, with the power creep, if you take away players buying and wanting to buy old cards for nostalgia, and you add in a lot of power creep, anything reserve list or just old cards in general are going to tank in value if there's no desire to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that Commander's probably not going anywhere. I think the game itself is going to survive, but if power creep continues, I think any long-term idea of value is going to be out the window.
I would agree to a point, except for some of those Commander staples like Cradles and Lion's Eye Diamonds and things of that nature. I think those will still hold their value just because I don't think that those cards will be power crept.
Okay. Right. That's fair.
I have a quick answer to it.
Yeah.
It's one word. It's a compound word. It's one word. But before I tell you my answer, though, I want to exaggerate since it's only one word. The other day, I said it on my podcast, I went to a store and I played Commander for the first time. It made me feel like I was back in 1993 when I first started playing the game. Because back then it was all multiplayer, every man for himself. And then I became like a pro and it was one-on-one, tournament stuff. And then it's back to multiplayer, that makes sense. Anyway, where do I see the game in 10 years? One word, blockchain.
Nice.
Now, are you talking about blockchain logistics with that, or are you using that in a different terminology?
No, I'm talking, man. I mean, come on, everybody's going to it, dude. I mean, why not? And Steve said mainstream too, and that's. I mean, I'm just being real. If they don't get on that bandwagon, what? This is 2021, right? I'm seeing the infinity pins like, oh, that looks tasty, and then everybody's doing blockchain. Why aren't we?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Well, we pretty much have groups doing that now, targeting buyouts of all the reserve list cards. So pretty soon to get any reserve list cards, it's going to cost you like $50 to get a freaking common. You know.
Then that begs the question also with the reserve list and with Commander being the most popular format right now, and in general, most people are okay with proxies. It then begs the question of going forward, if proxies become completely socially acceptable, even to the point in Commander, if they allow them in a sanctioned tournament, will those reserve list cards that we think are strong for Commander or for play in general, will they still hold any value if proxies are generally accepted across the board because of the price?
I think they will. A lot of us, we don't use proxies in my play group. It's a no-no. That's kind of like the argument with net decks or whatnot. But for the longevity of the game, we can tell if it's a real card or not just by the rosettes.
Right. They're getting better and better with those proxies.
They are. But I mean, you know, we've got to know, and I talk about it on my podcast too. There's episodes where we talk about, hey, they are getting better at this, but come on, we got to stay ahead, man. You know, we got to let everybody know that's playing this game, like, you don't want to be duped, you know?
Yeah, my LGS in general allows you to use 10 proxies per Commander deck, and that's where they kind of cut it off. Now, Rule 0, of course, if somebody comes in there and they have 50% proxied and they're just wanting to try it out, that's cool. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I personally, for some of the higher value cards, if I own a copy, I'll be willing to proxy a copy, but I have to own at least one copy of the card before I'm willing to make a proxy if I have multiple decks that want to run it.
I can't speak for everybody in my play group, but what I can say is I don't have any problem with proxies. I understand why they are there. I understand how they're beneficial. I build cubes. I understand the use of proxies.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody understands, man, I understand, you know. But in my play group, we just don't use them when we play games, you know.
I mean, I can understand it for the big value cards like Cradle and you know, if you have a dual land in there, the original, I can get behind that. Me personally, I'd rather play with the real stuff. And I don't have the familiarity with a lot of the older cards pre-Ixalan. Like, I know 7th edition, I could tell if it's a real 7th edition card, but anything before that, I don't know. You know, that's me. I played since it started, but I'd never owned since it started to know the difference. You know what I mean? So for me, it's kind of scary.
I'm curious if anybody's in your chats mentioned anything about what they think the game is and where they see the game in 10 years.
Okay, so yeah, let me read off Charles. I'm leaving you hanging, man. I'm sorry. I was letting them go for a bit. So he does like Pauper, and he says, but you're talking about a game that said it wouldn't make it past 10 years, and it's almost 30 years now. Yeah, I do think Magic's going to be around for a while. You're right. And it was originally developed for D&D players in card form, basically, what he's saying. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So when you go to Magic the Gathering conventions, you know, whatnot, you go to the regionals, PPTQs, whatever, you'll see people on the side playing games like Dominion when that first came out. You know, they were showcasing, and that's what Richard Garfield and his friends were doing. They were playing Magic in between the D&D games.
Yeah.
It was called Mana Clash, actually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. But they couldn't call it that, so he called it Magic, and then they couldn't call it that either. So they got Magic the Gathering, and then it stuck, you know, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, that makes sense. If I could stop saying, Joshua, you've seen this a lot in there. Flesh and Blood, man. It's starting to come in hard right now. Do you think
sure is.
I mean, we've seen a lot of good card games pop up, but do you think it might actually contend with Magic, or do you think people are just in it for the quick money and you know, they like the way it's run, so they're sticking with it? I mean, what do you think?
I have to look at it only from the financial perspective right now because I don't have any of the cards. I haven't looked how to play the game, so I don't understand the premise and whether it has legs and the intricacies that Magic has to be able to go the long haul.
Well,
but from the financial standpoint, there's a bunch of people that right now are just getting in to get the first edition boxes with the unlimited boxes coming out now.
Yeah.
That the first edition boxes, from a financial standpoint, I didn't make the jump to Flesh and Blood because I don't know whether it has the legs or not. And I already have enough money and time invested in Magic and other things I do in my life on a personal level that I don't have time to pick up something else.
And I say good. I've seen a lot of my friends go down this path, man. But no, you look at Google will tell you the average lifespan of a collectible card game is 1 year.
Yep.
And that back, but what did you call it? Flesh and Blood? I haven't heard of it yet. There's another one too that's Japanese where they got the more foiled out it is, the more glittery it is, the more powerful that card is. Help me out here. What's the name of that one where it's got all Japanese girls on it or whatever not?
Force of Will?
You guys know?
I don't know about
Force of Will. There you go. Force of Will. There you go. There's a game, Force of Will, that's pretty big around here, right? But it's not as big as Magic is, right? Or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, which are still played today. Flesh and Blood, I don't know. I've never heard of it. I think about White Squall with Rutger Hauer when you say it.
Yeah, Flesh and Blood was made by a studio called LSS, right?
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
They've been on the scene now for, I want to say, 6 months maybe. But there's this huge increase in values. They have cold foils, which are the money cards that everybody's after. They're equivalent to our ABU. So some of the cold foils are sitting up in the $700 to $1,000 mark. But then the question is if the game has legs for it to hold those kind of values.
So Keyforge, is it still going strong or no?
Keyforge, I mean, it's still at my LGS, but I don't know that they've made any new decks for that.
And how long was that out?
Probably a year.
Okay.
2018, I think.
But you do have some of them that they fade down quite a bit and they're not in the mainstream. So like Final Fantasy collectible card game is still around and they're going about 5 or 6 years now. Just not mainstream and popular like Magic is.
Well, I get it. I'm just saying on average though,
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you. Magic the Gathering is definitely an anomaly in that factor. I mean, you got the big three. You got Pokemon, you got Yu-Gi-Oh, and you got Magic. To compete, you have to be better than those three.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, because we had Digimon that it's coming back for nostalgia purposes, but yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Magic. And Star Wars, I played every version of Star Wars, so I know card quality on stuff, like if it's scratched, if it's not scratched, whatever. And I played it when Decipher had it, I played it when Wizards of the Coast had it, and the miniature game, and I played it with FFG. And yeah, you get a big spike, like maybe 2 years, 3 years, and either the people get lazy on it, or I don't know what. They just die. Every time they just die. I don't know if it's because of the licensing on that, but yeah, I mean, Magic's been the only one to stick around and it's been like the workhorse of the trading card community since day one. So, and again, also to answer that 10-year question, I think it's still going to be there, but it's just a matter of how are they going to be able to curb the power creep and keep it going to where Standard, their big money maker, isn't like completely broken and people actually want to play. You don't
think blockchain would be?
Which one?
You don't think blockchain would be the answer?
Blockchain?
Blockchain, yeah. Blockchain.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. For sure. You guys seen the scam where it was like, you could own like 1/100th of a Black Lotus?
I didn't get that.
No, yeah, and then you read the fine print and you don't really technically own any of it. You own 1/1000th of the company that owns the Black Lotus and you no rights or anything to it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was supposed to be cost sharing to own expensive Magic cards, but it wasn't an asset that could grow in value because you didn't own the asset.
course.
Oh, and Charles says he thinks that Flesh and Blood's a phase. And
I've never heard of it, man. I mean, you guys are talking about it like it's the next big thing. I'd like to hear about it when it's this way. That's cool.
Yeah, and
yeah, they are definitely having some distribution issues and then logistics issues in the quantity of product that they are making. So it's slowly making it out there. The question is whether they can scale to the demand as it increases. And then again, it has to have the legs to compete with what's already out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, LSS is great with customer support and helping out the players. They're very player oriented right now. They just don't have the ability to go mainstream. They don't have the production capability or the LGS support, which nobody has LGS support right now. So we'll see how it happens after we start coming out of this pandemic.
Yeah, no,
well, maybe some content hold of them, or maybe you get a hold of some content creators.
Right?
Yeah. Well, the biggest one that they're sitting with right now is, of course, Rudy from Alpha Investments.
Well, if he's pushing it, they shouldn't have any problem.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's
and he's doing a lot of pushing on it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Steve's scratching his back like blood and guts. What do you call it? Flesh and blood?
Flesh and blood.
Flesh and blood's right. Flesh and blood might be scratching Rudy's back a little, a little to the left, down, up a little bit. Okay, right there, And Steve's over here like, we got marketing material,
Yeah, LSS is definitely doing that with Rudy because he gets custom, one-of-a-kind cold foils that he does in kits that he sells to the rejects.
Right.
Or to his Patreon members, I should say.
Correct. And that mat was awesome with him holding the gem. I mean, I wanted one, but I wasn't going to spend $200 on it. Screw that.
I don't have any issue with Rudy over at Alpha Investments. I don't have any issue with him whatsoever.
I obviously don't have an issue with him either. It's just he's the one who seems to be one of the major pushers of Flesh and Blood, and then of course the YouTube channels that you see pop up that are also doing a lot with Flesh and Blood. A lot of those are part of Rudy's Patreon group.
Okay, I got it.
So they're able to get that product through Rudy.
Birds of a feather. Yeah.
Yes.
I got it. Pretty
much, yeah. All right. And let's see, just to catch up with chat here. Cascade made it. I guess he's at work, so he wanted to join us but couldn't. But Charles says, and their wannabes floppy soaky taco to their faces. All right, fair enough.
That's so I like the concept of this round table. You're going to be doing this once a week?
I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking we could probably space it out maybe twice. But I'm trying to work up my OBS setup and get like more professional. It's going to take about probably about 4 weeks to get the sound set up properly. And I'm
actually, yeah, I like the concept of this because this could actually go big.
No, and it will. Ha It will. I'm going to make it a little more formalized. Yeah. Go ahead.
Cascade, you're absolutely right. It's the perfect storm. High negativity with MTG and big names pushing the product. You are absolutely right, Cascade. Sorry, I'm calling out people on your chat.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
What did Cascade say?
He said, Flesh and Blood is in the perfect storm. There's high negativity currently with MTG, and big names are pushing the product, i.e. Rudy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the negativity put WotC and MTG?
I'm assuming that all of the Pringles that you get out of the foils, the amount of product that's being pushed, the no MSRP with the increase in prices. I'm sure there are other things that have been written with that as well.
I get it now. Okay. Well, nobody's perfect, and it is a company with a bunch of people that are imperfect.
Wow.
Right.
I mean, I have friends who work for the company, and I can't point to my friends who work for the company and say, you guys are doing this all wrong, because it's a company of individuals, and they do the best that they can.
Correct. Yeah. No, I understand, man. I love the people that work there. I just don't understand everything that's going on behind the scenes.
Well,
Actually, my friend that works there, her first product that came out was the Commander Collections Green. She designed all of the
nice.
The way that packaging went together. So she's a really cool person.
Right.
Well, wait.
I don't see a problem.
Before you go on, I want to say she's a really cool person because she didn't make a freaking huge Commander box out of it.
Wait until you see the Challenger Decks 2021. She also reduced that's her next one that she's done from creation to product release. And she said that the amount of paper products and the amount of empty space that's in that product is decreased dramatically. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those Challenger 2021 decks look like in terms of their size.
Did you see the size of the pre-release for Zendikar Rising?
Yes, I did.
I love that. That was beautiful.
Well, they've kept it small
since
since here. So.
Why do I got to get a 20-minute spin down every time now? Why?
Because technically you're not supposed to bring in all your gear, I guess, if they want to keep it more formal. So you would play with what...
Technically you're not...
Well, hold on. Let me explain. Let me explain. Sure. All right. So technically, you should be going empty-handed to the game store, right? You're supposed to buy a hat and your sleeves after you get your deck, or before, I guess. That way people aren't slipping in cards, right? You think. I'm making this all up. But you wouldn't have a D20 with you necessarily. You wouldn't have a thing of dice with you necessarily for counters. So that's why they always include a D20 every freaking time. Me personally, if the zombie apocalypse happened, you know what I would do? I'm a D20 shooter, bro. No?
Yeah, I'm just overwhelmed. I mean, my dad doesn't play this game.
Yeah.
And he looks at, he's like, you got another die with your game again, huh? And it's like, yeah, Dad, there's another die, and I throw it in big old. You go to somebody's house, they got the big water container and putting coins in. You know what I'm talking about, guys?
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, since all those D20s are spin downs, you can't. Charles in your chat was saying that it was, and you guys agreed, and we all know that it was originally made for D&D.
Yeah.
But with it being a spin down die, you can't even cross that die back over to D&D. It's stuck being only a spin down die because the probabilities are all off, so you can't use it in a D&D game anymore.
Right. It's a pretty random D20. That's correct. I don't like the spin down. Not when I like it for beginners. You know, somebody on YouTube again the volume, but I like them for beginners. Like if I'm teaching my little cousin how to play or their friends or something. But for anybody else who's got any sense, man, it's like, why? Can you guys just give us a $2 deck box this time? You know, instead of a 20-sided die. I mean, every time you buy a product, it's 20-sided die.
They're in the pre-release kits, and they're in the what do they call them? They're not called fact packs anymore.
Yeah.
I try to beat bundles. Yeah.
All right. Let's see who popped in. All right. Steve's still hanging.
I'm surprised I put in like a pack of the baseball cards with a gum. Remember that?
All right.
What's this? It's a D20 in your booster.
Yeah. No, they should make it of gum. That'd be great.
It comes with 10 cards and a D20.
Yeah.
Now, it would be really cool for a while if they put a D40 in with the Commander Precons. I think a D40 would be really cool for a little while.
That's a thought. No, it's just too much work. It's just too right.
Hey, Justin, why don't you say something? He's been so polite.
I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm tossing in when I got something, but
okay. Yeah. No, I mean, Charles says he wants it weekly. And then, of course, we're going to have rotating people come in. John, I mean, if you're posted Thursdays, just run your stream early your other thing, I'm down. My only thing is it runs into karaoke when I do get paid. So I don't know. Maybe some Thursdays might be early. And how about you, Steve?
Yeah, I like
how you
this
doing?
idea, man.
Yeah. Me three. All right.
We are ourselves though here. Guys, we all have a passion and drive for this game and the content that we create. And we're all trying to entertain and educate the viewer/listeners. But I think at the end of the day, we're all working together. We're trying to compete against each other.
Yeah, and actually,
agree.
let's see. Yeah, Cascade Card Wranglers. Yeah, because he's at work. He wanted to join in. Hopefully, I don't like filming before 5, but it's not like I really need to film anything for this. So that's why I say 5, because the lighting's just horrible. But anyway, Cascade was asking how we're all connected. I met John randomly because I've been networking with smaller YouTubers, reaching out to bigger YouTubers, and you have to constantly network. So that's how I met John. And it's funny because we actually have the same sponsor, which reminds me, we'll get into that just 1 second. Yes, I know. I'm ready. I got the cards. See? Woo, there it is. Okay. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But a couple fellow rejects. A lot of the rejects, especially Peddler and Paz, helped out a lot getting started. And, I'm still learning stuff. I've only been doing this since, I want to say May of last year. I've had a YouTube longer, but it was just to share my I say crappy music. Some people like it. But anyway, to share songs. That's the only reason why I had the channel, is just to share some of my old stuff. But I got into the YouTubing, and it's been mad fun, and I'm meeting cool people like you guys. So, that's why I do it.
Before you guys too here, Steve, Justin, everybody here that's here right now. When did you guys start?
Start YouTube or started Magic?
Content creation.
I started my content creation probably 2 or 3 years ago, and then I slowly built up from there. I started my content creation when I got my first gaming rig, and then I started dabbling into Streamlabs, OBS, and live streaming. So, my next step is to start learning how to do video editing and development and things like that. So I've been doing about 2 or 3 years now.
Steve?
Go ahead.
I don't think Steve's here, is he?
All
right. Justin?
Yeah, actually, we started I think it was May or June last year also. Just for kicks, started filming our pack openings, and it's just kind of grown from there, I guess. But we're not a huge channel by any stretch. We're actually pretty small still, but slow and steady, just having fun with it.
Russ, I was going to have you continue, man, but I wanted to jump in there and have everybody answer that. Myself, I started last year, February. So I'm kind of in the same boat with a lot of you guys. Go ahead, Russ.
No, you carry on. I'm vapid.
Carry on, my wayward son, right? Which we don't have rights to own on that song. We don't own the rights at all.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what kind of questions you want me to ask me, and I didn't come with anything.
No, it's fine. But I was just sneaking a puff. So let me get this head on here. What?
How you said a minute ago how me and you met. I like it because how me and you met is how I met a lot of the people that I know that I'm networking with, and that's exactly what it is. It's networking. When I first started doing this last year in February, I had no idea the threshold I was crossing, because I thought it was just make content, which I can do that, but that's not all that it is. So behind the doors, guys,
there's so much going on.
First ones, there's marketing, and there's editing, and then there's networking.
I haven't even done branding yet.
There's never a dull moment.
I haven't even done my proper branding yet, because if you look at these big YouTubers, right, you have to be on Instagram. I'm kind of avoiding Twitter because I know me, I'll get involved in this stupid politics stuff. But Instagram, you got to get on Twitch now. I'm going to be working with a few of you guys to go on a platform that no one's touched yet, and don't say anything. But I think it'll be absolutely hilarious, so I'm totally down to do it. But yeah, you have to do so much branding and reaching out, talking to people. A lot of people are financing it by doing RASs, selling boxes and stuff like that. All I wanted to do was crack boxes and make jokes. That's all I wanted to do starting off. And I can't afford to buy all the boxes because I pretty much started because of the whole Rona thing. I started filming and started getting better and better at it. Now I'm editing. Some people are saying I'm editing too much, which is probably true. So I just don't like hearing myself, or if I'm interviewing someone, say so I like micro edit. It's crazy. But anyway, but yeah, no, it's been a super fun thing, and it's almost a full-time job, and I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers yet. It's crazy.
Agree with that?
Yeah, and I'm grinding.
It's kind of funny for me to hear you guys say how long you've been doing it, and I look at your channels, and y'all have more subscribers than me, which is great. I appreciate you guys' hustle. I will tell you from my standpoint, I absolutely love the fact that I was able to join in this roundtable discussion, even though my channel's so small and I'm a nobody in the YouTube world. But I absolutely enjoy doing this and being able to talk about something I'm passionate about. But like I said at the beginning, I didn't do my YouTube so that way I could turn it into a lifestyle outside of the videos that I post and the deck techs and the video gaming that I do. I have my own personal life, and I mean, I'm a scuba diver, and I have a motorhome, and I travel, and I do all of that stuff too. So there's just not enough time. Like you said, it's already almost a full-time job, and you're not even at 500 subscribers yet. And I don't have that, to be honest, don't have that drive to be able to try to beat the YouTube algorithms. If you have a viral video that takes off, or you hit a niche market, you're in like Flint. But if you're just doing general things that other people have done, then you get lost in the YouTube algorithms. And unless you do all the hardcore networking that you guys are talking about, it's just very difficult to get anywhere with YouTube nowadays.
And to piggyback off that, it's not like I'm trying to sound like a broken record and extend this conversation any more than we need to.
Wiki.
You bring up a good point. But I want to piggyback off that.
Yeah.
That hold on one second, okay.
Oh,
sorry. Just 1 second here. I'm collecting my thoughts here. The networking, yes, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. Hold on. I want to say I appreciate the kind words. There's people in here that got bigger groups than we do.
Yeah.
But it's not about starting it for money. I did not start this because of what happened with the world we have right now, what's going on with the world. I'm not going to use the word you guys are using because I've learned how to censor myself, content I create.
Yeah. Rona is safe. Rona is safe.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm trying to dance around those words too, and sometimes they slip out.
I get it, but my point is I started because when I didn't know there was a podcast. I never knew that realm existed, okay? And a friend of mine listened to one, and it was a female. She would tell me that what a podcast is. I'm like, okay. And then I was like, I wonder if there's Magic the Gathering podcasts. Well, sure enough, there's not over 100. There's thousands of them. You wouldn't know that there's thousands of podcasts with Magic the Gathering. So I started listening to a few of them, and then I quickly learned which ones not to listen to, which ones to listen to, and watched YouTube videos on certain podcasts. Long story short, I wasn't getting fed. When I look at, there's an echo. Somebody, Steve's back. He doesn't have the volume.
Yeah, I'm back.
Here. That's okay. The echo. It's on your YouTube line.
Oh yeah.
Let me pause here real quick, John. I just want to acknowledge some people in the chat. Leatherface, good to see you, brother. Hell yeah. Dystopian, I did say hi earlier. Excuse me, if I can talk. And Don, you've been on YouTube for 4 years. What are you actually broadcasting stuff? Because I've never seen your thing. I think you've just been on YouTube. Okay. All right, carry on, John.
I was just trying to finish by saying that I was not getting fed by the information or the podcasts that are out there on Magic the Gathering. When I was told that this right here, #1 Magic the Gathering podcast, you should listen to it. I listened to it, and you hear the two guys talking about what beer they're drinking for 30 minutes before they go on to talking about anything Magic the Gathering. And then when they finally do, it's like they're talking about one card, and it's not even a card I'm interested in. You know, it's like, okay. But I listened to Professor, and he's got like in response, the Untitled podcast. There's another one too, I can't remember, but you know, there's a lot of big ones out there. And when you do a podcast, because I know there's other content creators like YouTubers and Twitchers, streamers and stuff. When you do a podcast, you kind of got to stand out of the crowd, right? And I already know there's thousands of podcasts out there, right? So what makes my podcast stand out from the other podcasts that are out there, right? I had to find out what is my soul, what drives me, what gives me that passion for Magic, and just the ultimate answer is just helping people out. Because when I go over somewhere, like, John, you always know the rules where you always win. No, I just know the in and outs of the game. You know, it's a very complex game. But if we help each other out instead of, oh, yeah, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to hit your face, I'm going to smash your face, and here you go, I'm going to mill you out, you know. No, my wife put it great. She looked at my friend and said, hey, man, you taught me how to play Magic because you took my deck and utilized every move. And he's like, yeah, that's what me and John do.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I started making content, you know.
Well, I unfortunately do fall in that category, John. I will talk to you for 30 minutes talking about a beer, but at least we could kind of focus and get back on point. But no, me, I'm always constantly thinking outside the box because I am, you know, obviously pushing to get that 1,000, push that 1,000 to 10,000, the what's we call it, and really no one. There's a few other YouTubers that are kind of doing what I'm doing, but the fun thing is that I do know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I think that's kind of the allure a little bit. But you know, we're constantly learning and getting better and awesome and all that, and eventually this will be a thing. And it will look nice. And, you know, I'm just trying to figure out what program that will get me there, you know?
When you cook pancakes, the first couple you make turn out so well, then you get a rhythm, you got them going good, right?
Yeah.
I think the projects I've been on with you, like the Chaos Stream and whatnot, this one tops the cake.
Oh, yeah.
This program right here at the table, this one tops the cake because you've got content creators coming together where people can just walk all of us together and have our true opinions come out.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is that I've also... Oh, who? Wait, I'm sorry.
Steve, I was a part of the Chaos Stream, too.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah, I think you did pop in for a minute. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that was pure chaos. It was supposed to be. I just hope... Like, my account's down, so I'm like, okay, I know I said some stupid stuff, but I mean, what happened? But the thing that I'm proud of, besides choking on my long-ass hair, is that I'm responsible for developing this community behind Pause, behind Peddler, behind the content creators I have. So, like, Dobby's in on he's in there with Pause, he's in there with Peddler, like checking live streams, and it's cool because no matter what, even if I have a really bad stream, y'all can connect in my chat and chit chat with each other, and it's like we have our own little niche live community, you know. And I feel personally responsible for that.
That's true. Well, there's a couple of them. I'm just gonna flat out say there's one called Keeper of the Spark.
Okay.
And we've got a C and C. So just like how you got your Chaos Stream chat room, there's one called C and S. It stands for Content Creator and Streamers.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a bunch of us there.
One. Yeah.
Right? So, you know, what I meant a long time ago, when I first approached the the guys over at the Facebook group, Magic the Gathering Players group. They're like, hey, would you like somebody to come on your podcast and promote their stuff? And I'm like, actually, I would love it, and I do. And every time somebody comes on, I beg them to do that, because it's not worth it to fight against anybody and fight for viewers and listeners. If we work together, you get more bees with honey. So that's how I met you, Russ.
Yep. And that's the thing too, is that we all can grow together. I mean, honestly, with our group, we should all have the same subscribers. You know what I mean?
Right. That's about what it is, bud. I'm looking at everybody right now that's in our clique.
Yeah.
And we're all there. Yeah.
Oh,
it reminds me of, man. It reminds me of good old professional wrestling stuff with what was it? Razor Ramon guy, the Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and what was it? That Nash guy?
Kevin Nash.
Yeah, Kevin Nash. They were called the Clique. Those four.
Oh, okay.
Broke kayfabe.
All right, we got to pause the cause because I'm lagging, and actually, it's funny because they're now my brother. We have the same sponsor, but yes, guys, go check them out. NorthValleyGames.com. Use my code at checkout. Next stream, we'll use your code. DJL808. Get 10% off your purchase. Also, if you guys are selling cards, they're adding 10% to your the buy list price of whatever cards you're selling. So you get an additional 10%. So that's like 20% right there. Pretty dope. And there you go. Go sponsor. Links are down in the below. Go and smash it. Go visit. They got tons of singles, guys. It's crazy.
And really good price too, because they're based in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, really good prices.
Leatherface is showing us. Yeah, he's all the Clique. He's all Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. He's obviously Leatherface is not a fan at all.
Leatherface, good. Leatherface, hey man, how you doing? He lives not too far away from me, actually, in the same state.
Yeah, I remember.
Another content creator.
Yeah, he is. He is. And I think, too, is that as we're developing our clique per se, we're going to get big together and, we'll all rise up. And then, I don't know. I'm constantly brainstorming, trying to get ahead, trying to do my thing. Obviously, I get monetized, but, I like talking to people. So this is cool. I do have a social outlet outside of here, and there's constantly parties and other things going on. So it's hard for me to focus on the channel sometimes. But I'm still pushing forward. And I love talking to you guys. You guys are rock.
And we always push each other too. Like Johnny Blue, Johnny Goku Johnny. Basically, he I remember one time in the group he was like, "Man, guys, I'm thinking about taking a break for a while." And I'm like, "Johnny, give me in a game real quick, man. I'm playing a game that's Magic. It's a deck that just draws to win using Teferi's tutelage." And he goes, "You know what, John? You put the spark back in me, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start streaming again." So whenever one of us are down, the rest of us are there. Like Joe Woo, I remember going, "Hey, Joe, your fans want you to stream." He's like, "Well, I was thinking about streaming tomorrow." I'm like, "But your fans want you to stream, Joe." He's like, "Okay, I guess if you want me to stream." And he gets on there, man, in seconds. There's 50 of us in there waiting for him to stream, He's like, "Oh, wow. When you said you were going to bring it, I didn't think you were going to bring it."
Nice.
But yeah, Leatherface is part of the clique too. But yeah, there you go, Leatherface. I was right. I got all four of them right, huh? That's cool. That shows my age, huh?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's so funny too, because like my thought process too is like I don't know much about Modern. I don't play correction. I will play Commander, but I don't really do that. So I noticed one of my first huge what?
What do you want to know about Modern? Shadowlands, Tron. What do you want to know?
Yeah, I know. What?
Hey, I play
5 decks
Infect in Modern too.
Oh,
good.
Man.
But I don't play traditional Simic Infect. I play Selesnya Infect, so that way I can have my Giver of Runes for my protection. It's a little bit of a different twist that it plays for a little bit of a longer game, and I actually enjoyed it a whole lot better than traditional Simic, in fact.
Hold on, Russ, before you say something. A buddy of mine plays mono green Infect, and it kills me turn 3 every time. Live wire lash is a thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well,
I splashed that white so I can put in the paths, and it allows me the Giver of Runes as well to be able to have that protection for the long game.
Nice.
And it allows me to splash in Luris as a companion.
Oh, okay.
If you do use the live wire, you can target your own creature too. I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I was turned off to Modern only because, one, I'm not rich. I just got back into the game 2018. So pretty much all my card knowledge is Ixalan up to now. So
it's a misconception to be rich to play Modern, man. You can do an elf ball deck for like $25.
No, I get it. But I was pushed towards Standard. I like Standard. I mean, I don't really like it now, but that's where I started back in that. And what I was trying to say is like, if I don't know something, because if you guys want to see something absolutely horrible, you should see when I managed to get the very first box opening of not the VIP, but the Double Masters. I had 10,000 views on that thing. And I was a nervous wreck. Plus, I didn't know anything about Modern or the older cards. So, I mean, I looked like a total noob, and I was. So now, if I do an older product, I'm going to make sure I have someone that knows what the hell they're talking about. So that's the reason why I networks.
To jump on back in with Modern, the reason I originally started with Blue Tron in Modern, but after you have the core of certain decks, you can build it into the others. So I have Blue Tron, but I already have that core piece. I also have Eldrazi Tron and Red Tron that I can play out of the same box. I can just switch my cards around and make any one of those 3 Modern decks.
Correct, yeah.
True.
Just like Death Shadow, there's a couple of those variants. I played Mill. There's a couple of variants of that too.
Right.
But, some people play Delver. There's Modern. You see a lot of the same decks going around, just like you do in Standard.
Yep. And to be honest, you can do a very budget friendly. The reason I started with Tron was because it didn't require the fetch lands, and that's a big cost entry into Modern if you're going to play something at the highest tier. But with playing any of the Tron variants, you're not running fetch lands, so your mana base cost is dramatically reduced, and it allows you to you start with a lower variant, and then you slowly start adding cards as you can afford them.
Yeah, that's a good point he just brought up, Russ. Modern is very affordable. It can almost be more affordable than Standard in a way if you look at it too. If you've
very much more so.
Yeah, if you've already got an existing small collection, you've already got a leg up more than most people. But Modern, man, it's not really all intensive as people make it out to be.
I mean, from a Modern standpoint, I have a Hand Disruption Modern deck that it's not running Thought Seizes or anything like that. The whole deck is under $50, and it's fairly competitive.
Yep. Point taken.
Besides the financial,
my Eldrazi Tron deck, I think I spent it was just under 100 when I first built it.
Right.
And when you want to learn the mechanics of the deck before you go dropping a ton of money into it anyway, for sure.
Yeah.
And see whether you even have a passion for the play style of that particular deck.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, Blue Tron is a complete different beast than anything I've ever played. And I played White Control back in the Fallen Empire era.
Yuck.
Ouch. Ouch. Blue, White, and Fallen Empires.
Back when you played Stasis Control, you played, what was it? The Rack. Was it the Rack or the Black Vice? You played Stasis Control with the Rack.
Yeah. There's a lot of cards we played we thought were good. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fallen Empires. Oh man, I was playing with that set. Oh man,
Fallen Empires was the set that I started hard into Magic. So when I started in Fallen Empires, you could still buy some Legends and Antiquities, but and some revised. You could buy some revised booster the starter decks, so that way you could get the lands.
Yeah,
But yeah, I started in Fallen Empires.
yeah, I love those starter decks, man. They're only $9.95 when I was buying them.
They sure were.
Yeah, $9.95, man. I took those things everywhere.
And they made the best deck boxes.
They sure did, man.
Because we didn't play with sleeves back in those days.
My dad was trying to tell me the penny sleeves from the comic book store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I started playing my first deck. I loved my Benelish Heroes, my 1/1 Banders.
Yeah. Do you guys? I mean, we're getting off subject here, but Flash and what was it? Phasing and flanking. Do you think those will ever? Because look at the phasing with Teferi Master of Time, right? Do you think phasing and flanking will ever come back?
Wait.
I don't know. I mean, if phasing and flanking came back, I would like to see Shadow back also.
Well, they try to bring phasing back.
Back then, Fear. You had a lot of good mechanics back then.
Yeah.
But M21 tried to bring back phasing.
Yeah, phasing is just one of those things that it creates a little bit of a headache. And as things, I think as Magic tries to go more mainstream, that the more complicated they try to make a rule set, the harder it is for it to go. And phasing is kind of like Bane. It's one of those rule conundrums that's sometimes difficult to understand. It's really not at its core, but for somebody just picking up the game, it looks that way.
I wrote a 2-page article, like a college article, guys. Okay, this is the level of the article I wrote. Okay, it took me a week to write this article, and somewhere on the internet, I'm glad that I've got recognition for this too, right? So it's all in the rules on Ikoria.
Oh, God.
So when you take the normal size font, right, you get where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
The normal size font on 8.5 by 11.5 piece of paper, and you're filling each piece of paper, and that's the rules of Ikoria, with mutate and companion and all that other stuff. So, but they say there's 14,000 words on call time when it comes to rule text.
Wow.
So it even beats Ikoria. What do you guys think about that?
Wow.
Yeah. When I first looked in the account, I was a little overbearing.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not new person necessarily friendly if you add all of the old mechanics also. But also, back when we started, we had to read a rule book to know what each thing was. The card would only say banding. It didn't have a parenthesis and then have reminder text behind it. We had to memorize all the rules. Now with all of these cards, you have rule text actually on the cards, so it makes things a whole lot easier. So, it's kind of half.
What? Yeah. So what? Because right now they say mill, right?
Yeah.
Right. We fought a long time for that. But what about the new players? They're like, well, what's mill?
Yeah, and some of the cards still have the reminder text after mill. Some of them don't. So it's a conformity issue of whether they need to put that rules text on each card or whether they're going to. So I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems to be that way in my head. It seems like the flashy variants have less reminder text on them than the base level card. I could be wrong, but it seems like whenever I flip through a set, one of the new sets, and I hit a card, let's say it's something that has Boast on it. The base level card always has reminder text, but sometimes the flashy card doesn't have that reminder text. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not either, or whether I'm just seeing things.
Correction.
Well, don't you want all your cards to look like Judge Foil promos?
No, because I don't like Pringles.
Well, if they weren't Pringles, would you like all your cards in your deck to be Judge Foil promos?
That's tough. If it's the same exact artwork and I'm just playing with cards, I really don't care as a collector. I kind of like the shiny foils. But when I'm playing a modern deck, then typically I have inner sleeves and outer sleeves. And by the time you double sleeve a card, your foil shining through isn't much of anything already. So the foil really doesn't matter much to me.
Oh, I understand the double foiling or the double sleeving. I totally get that. But my point, what I was trying to get is I think everybody wants to deck out their commander deck. Everybody wants to deck out their standard deck. Once they build it and it's solid, and they get to that point where like, well, now I can bling this out.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you there. I mean, I've blinged out my Teshar commander deck, and it's basically all foil at this point.
Right. When I first learned the Judge foil promos was back with Laurelin and the card Cryptic Command. So I knew that they had the Judge foil promos, and there would be somebody in my life in the future to go, I don't believe that's what that card does. Isn't there a card with the rules on it somewhere? So I would get one copy with the word text, and 3 of them were Judge foil promos. That makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, we've been monopolizing for a little bit. I want to hear something from Justin. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. I think I'm in a little over my head in some of this stuff, man. I mean, a lot of talk of modern and stuff like that. I don't play modern, and I was out of Magic for a long time, so I missed out on a lot of the rules and stuff. I played early on. I remember Fallen Empires. Actually, you talk about that. That was my exit door.
Oh wow!
Fallen Empire scared me out for about 20 years.
Didn't like him to Torok, huh?
Yeah.
It almost did the same thing to me, dude. I tell you what, that set was horrible, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was horrible, dude. You know what? I think they still say it to today. It's the worst set there ever was.
I would say Homelands is.
Well, yeah.
Ruby pushes that so much.
At least in Fallen Empires, you could collect different artworks of the same card. By the time they got to Homelands, I don't think that was the case, was it?
I think you're right. I think that was just for Fallen Empires, wasn't it?
I didn't hear the question.
In Fallen Empires, you had like the AB or the ABC different artwork for each card. So like Hymn of Torok had 2 or 3 different artworks. And was that gone by Homelands, or did they still have multiple art teams per card in Homelands?
I don't remember. I think it was in Homelands. It was just one single copy of the picture. But yeah, in Fallen Empires, you would have 4 different dark rituals, and like what you said, dark vanishings, and
right.
Did I just say dark vanishing? Oh my god!
And that wasn't the case the set before that either, which was the dark. It was all just one. It was literally just Fallen Empires in it. I don't know.
Skate zombies. There was like 4 different rituals. Skate zombies. That takes you back. Skate zombies.
Not even familiar.
My first tournament deck ever was a mono black deck that ran Ishon Shade as the win con. It was a old-fashioned hippie Torok deck running Dark Ritual, so complete hand destruction. It was a rough deck back in those days.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
That was pre-internet days where you couldn't net deck.
Yeah,
right.
Oh yeah. And we talked earlier about the rule book that came with it was the size of Magic the Gathering cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I feel bad for the new players. Luckily, they got us to help them. But now they got, 500, 600, 700 rules now?
They sure do.
Well, it's funny that you guys bring that up. What you said, what's the one with the alternate arts?
Talk about Fallen Empires.
Fallen Empires. That's what we're doing now. But now you have to get the shiny version, there's the alt art, there's the showcase, and then there's the regular. And then with Teferi, they try to do how many into 21? That was ridiculous. There was and they were just slightly off. There was, I want to say 18 different variants of that one card.
Something like that, yeah.
$13 version. I'm stocking up on that bad boy.
Yeah. I mean, the full art was impressive. I appreciated that, but the other one where it had the showcase and there was like the whole ripple effect was the only difference. It's just like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
It's already paying the butt
That
to
also
get 3
upped the
variants.
in the packs too.
What's that?
That increased your odds of getting one of those packs too, the M21 packs.
Yeah, true, but still, it's just it's already bad enough that we have to collect 4 variants now. If you include the if you're a hardcore collector, you got the regular version, you got the foil regular version, you have the pre-release kit, then you have the showcase, then you have the extended art, and then the full art. Full art, yeah. And then of course foils of this.
I do apologize, bud, but if you're a hardcore collector,
yeah,
you don't have a problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, fair enough. That's fine. No, I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. There's only a couple of cards that I go after in that regard because I like to get all my green cards that way. You know, that's cool. But I don't know. It's pretty much Wizards shooting themselves in the foot on the collectors versus the regular. I do miss being able to go, I'm trying for a card, cool, I'm going to buy like 6 boxes of freaking whatever, right? I mean, now you have to get the collectors and this card's only in this one, and just, I don't know, it's a cash grab, you know?
Or do we follow suit with all the other content creators and just say, buy sales?
Yeah. I wouldn't have much of a channel if that was the case.
Do as I say, not as I do. Look at me busting open these boxes. Look at the content I'm creating.
Yeah.
Just buy singles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Buy singles. What are you doing, kid? Don't buy the box. What are you doing?
Yeah, no.
I will say from a build standpoint, though, I open at least 1 box of every set, and then I typically keep 2 sealed of every set. That's just me personally. But from a builder standpoint, I'm sure you guys can back me up on this, but if you're building 60 card format, I'll tell you what, most of the time it's the commons and the uncommons that make the deck. The rares are just the icing on the cake. Your core is your commons and uncommons and being able to figure out what best works in those slots.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Behold the Multiverse.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you just look at Pauper from that standpoint at the common sector, look at what you can do in building a Pauper deck and what it can go up against just running all commons.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a Pauper Slur deck that will run over a bunch of decks.
Right. Yeah. Even the most hardcore deck with mythics in it, no?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes about the synergy cards, you know?
Yeah, it's all about the synergy. I mean, I play Pauper Commander, and I typically take out I run Soul Herder. I run a hardcore Soul Herder Pauper Commander deck, and I'll sit down at an EDH table with 3, 7, 6, 7, 8 tiered decks and be able to hang with those boys.
What do we do at the end of these shows? And are we going to keep this at 2 hours long, or what are we doing?
Well, I've been letting you guys go for a minute.
Well, reel us back in. It's your show.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm enjoying it. I'm learning a lot. You know, I'm kind of like Justin there, just kind of like, wow, this is crazy. You know. Yeah, no, it's great. So, let's do another topic. And you guys know more on this because it doesn't affect me at all because they didn't do anything with Standard. They didn't do anything with Commander. What about that ban restriction?
Which one?
There's so many cards. I know. I'm sorry. I'll get better like focalizing these questions as we go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the new one, you got a bunch there too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you and generally trying to broach the topic of the number of bans that happened with the February ban and restricted list, with them taking a more aggressive stance, or are you referring to the ban and restricted list in general?
Yeah, Russ.
Yes.
I think where he's going with this the general standpoint. What do you guys think about the bans they just announced? I think is where he's going because
Yep.
I know where you're going with that. Is that where you're going, Russ?
Yeah, just in general. Like, do you think it was just? Do you think it wasn't? I mean, I'm not trying to ask you gazillion questions, but I am.
No. Let me put a caveat on that. I want to actually extend what he's asking. If you guys do understand what me and Josh were talking about as far as the banning of yesteryear versus what's going on now, and on top of your thoughts on bans and restrictions are. Go ahead.
You want me to go ahead?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll start with you, Josh. Go.
Well, actually, no. How about this? Wait. Hold on. Let me reel you guys back in. Haven't heard much from Steve. So how about Steve? How about you start?
All right. Well, the ban list in general, some of the cards that are on there, I mean, I don't have the ban list. Actually, on the road. A lot of it makes sense. One of the things that I don't like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around, is with the newer sets that are released. They release a card and a deck. Within 2 weeks tops, it's banned. And like Triple, I knew that card was going to be banned before it was even released. Like, I mean, I built a deck, just something around it with Ulamog, and it was fun. It's hilarious to run, but I knew it was going to get banned just because of some of the, it's a turn win. I mean, essentially cards that are just, it seems to have to be like an unfair advantage to have it, and then everyone wants it. I understand that end of the ban, but if you're gonna ban the card, or I just feel that they know what's gonna happen before they release the deck. They already have the intents of it, like they know that. Give it a little bit more playability time.
Yeah,
let people run. I mean, especially right now when they don't have sanctioned events. There's not that release events anymore. Like the LGSs can't have any of their events at all. So why not just let it ride? Like I understand. I know about the Trabolt one, because they have on MTG online. They're having an event this Sunday. I think it's Sunday, the 21st. Yeah. There's an event.
You're gonna open it's on the 20th.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I knew it was about this weekend. I have MTGO. I don't play more on it. That was actually just once I saw the event, I'm like, well, if you have one, I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings about the ban list. Like, I understand it to some degree, and then other times it's just like, what's the point? If you're gonna make the cards, let them play. You know what I mean? Like, I can see having restrictions, like ban cards for specific events, so that there's not one optimal deck that's gonna run over the rest.
Yeah, but that comes with playtesting, and they should playtest more. But it is hard to catch everything. With net decking, they find the most brokenest combo like almost instantaneously of them on spoiler season. So they see that going. I mean, they should do something, but at the same token, it's like, no, they have to include at least like 5 broken cards a set, every set, or it won't sell. And so there's that too. And they got themselves in this financial kind of situation of constantly pushing the power level, But I mean, like I said earlier, if they do bust out like another like Kamigawa or a set that doesn't, break all the bonds and is actually fun to play, people aren't gonna really rush out to buy it because there's no huge card in there from the financial standpoint that that they want to get.
Right. I understand that. I mean, in a sense, like another card that hasn't hit the ban list that I imagine probably where it may hit it, I think, is Vorinclex.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's another possible because just for prime example, if you run this is the card guide that I know that I built, like I have a deck aside. I didn't run it together yet, but I thought about running it with some table with a group I play with. If you run that with Phylath, or even on your with the for the poison counters, anything of those natures, like it's essentially to get it through. That's like a turn 3, turn 4 win. If you can mana ramp and get the cards out.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're talking mostly about standard in your particular situations, correct?
For me personally,
that particular deck is standard, but there's other. I mean, to play it back even into a modern standpoint, there's already decks that are. I mean, if you're not winning on turn 3 or 4 in modern, essentially you should probably cut dice.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
I don't agree with that. You must not play modern one.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I meant to say this earlier. I have a huge big turn off to modern. One, because I want all the fancy cards, so that's just my own problem. But on top of that, for a couple of the LGS that I went to, that's all they were playing, and of course they were the smug players. Just like it was all about getting at turn 2, turn 3 win, or even turn 1 on modern, and that's all they kind of focused on. There were still some fun decks floating around, but it just didn't interest me because the player base that was playing modern wasn't fun. At least with standard, standard players. I'm just saying for me, not in general. Yeah. For me, it was a
miracle. Right. Miracles. What turns that deck usually win in?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't play it.
Help me out here, Josh.
Oh, the Miracles deck?
Yeah.
Turn 6.
Oh yeah, probably like turn 5 or 6, I would think.
Yeah, because it's a turn 6 win.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of different modern decks out there, and I'm using Miracles.
Yeah, I mean, I should just I had a couple ones put together that were the ones that Russ talked about were turn 1 wins. I mean, essentially, you have to have the perfect draw for it. Yeah. Like,
I mean, we all with that Pater's tournament grindstone combo.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I built decks, the only reason I had decks like that is because competing for to win a box or something like that.
Yeah.
Content or whatnot. I just like decks that you can have and build that make it more fun, more playable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with that. I don't mind a longer game in terms just because it's more interesting. And you're playing with a newer player, they're going to be like, oh, if this, they just want to play and never come back. I mean, like I've sat at events and watched people come in. 200-300 people come into a deck, into a LGS and play an event, and then they walk out because they lost and like, I hate this deck and sell the whole deck off to the LGS.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
So,
hold on a second. Pause for the cause real quick, and no pauses in here. But DXDJ, I'm with you, brother. I am with you. I am the same. This is what he says. I am the same. I like playing games that play out a while, not something that's going to let me do, not let me do anything, and the game's over. And when is that fun? I agree. I like. I guess I'd be more of a kitchen table player. I guess I don't know. I like making my own deck. Not following the.
It's more of a like a casual player thing, but like that's really the ban cards don't even come into play.
I don't want to get off topic here. There's a difference between casual and competitive, but we are talking about the ban restriction announcement.
Correct.
Which was your question.
Which was the question? Yes.
Justin, what do you think?
I'm actually kind of in the same boat as Russ in the fact that I'm more of a casual player, and so I don't. Especially this last ban hasn't really had much of an effect on me, except it drove my Euros prices or value straight into the ground. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're still at 38, right?
What's that?
You're still at 38, right?
Not last I saw. I think he was like 20 now, but either way.
Already?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
standard Euros, the standard format Euros, like
Yeah.
you can buy them all day long for $18.
Yeah.
The only one that's still holding any value is the full art.
Yeah. Same with
Right.
Oko.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That guy's at 38.
Yeah. And same with Teferi. I mean, Teferi, the one from Dominaria. Oh my god, that jumped up.
3 fairy.
The what?
We call them 3 fairy, 5 fairy.
No, yeah, it's the 5 fairy. Yes. No, I agree. The 5 fairy. Yeah, that thing. Gem mint, freaking foiled, still some money. Oh.
Yeah. Japanese version.
Yeah, for all the ones who want waifus.
And what do you think, Josh?
I personally, okay, I'm going to differ here because I enjoy the banned and restricted list because it shakes up the meta. From the standpoint of, do what?
Agreed.
So shaking up the meta, your pro tours, which that's a different story. But even it shakes up the meta at your local LGS as well. It forces other people to, at least for a period of time, the net decks come out really quick. But the people at your LGS, when we can get back to that point where we can play, can't put together a paper deck unless they just happen to have the cards as quickly as your pros can. And even if they can net deck, they can't put those decks together. And also with that banned and restricted list, it gets rid of some of the things that make it less fun to play, like getting 3 fairy off the list where you just have to play at sorcery speed, which limits interaction.
Yeah.
So I have to say that the further back you go and the older formats that you play, the more answers that you have for things. So, I mean, I remember playing when we had, instead of either being banned or restricted, it was you could have 4 of, you could have 1 of, or you could have none of. Mm-hmm. And I actually enjoyed that format where, hey, you may be able to have 1 copy of that degenerate card that just busts everything apart in your deck, but your probability of getting to that and the amount of time needed to win the game is greatly reduced. So I actually preferred that type of banning better than I do of, hey, you just can't play this card anymore. So that means you can still play with the cards that you find fun, but you may only be able to play with 1 copy of it in your entire deck. So then you have to decide whether, if that's the backbone of your deck, how to quickly get to that, and or if it's not going to be a backbone of your deck, it changes your complete deck composition.
Yeah. I'm a fan of it too.
I mean, but it is bad in some ways too. For example, take the banning of Simian Spirit Guide. That got banned because of oops all spells. But what it really hurts is oh gosh, my mind just went blank. 2 black, 3 colorless. Search your library, basically flip cards over and take damage equal to the CMC. It killed that deck as a side effect of trying to ad nauseum. Killing Simian Spirit Guide killed ad nauseum decks, but really the reason they killed Simian Spirit Guide was to try to depower oops all spells. So the fact that side effects like that happen kind of suck in terms of the banned and restricted list, but it's also something that you can't have oops all spells running amok, and ad nauseum ends up falling on a sword because of it, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I remember going to the local game store for Modern, and half the store was playing ad nauseum, and that happened. I remember that time period, what you're talking about. Russ, before I answered this question.
Yeah.
I don't think you got the question yet.
What's up?
I don't think you answered the question. Are you the person that answered the question, aren't you? I got to answer it first, then you, right?
No,
Are you going to go back to Luris getting unbanned for us all the way back in Legacy now?
Yeah, that's joyous.
Wait,
but
right.
yeah, go ahead.
You're the one that asked the question, so I got to answer it first, then you, right?
Right. No, I actually, you guys are answering awesome because it doesn't affect me or Justin. But you know, the modern aspect, the legacy aspect, I have nothing to really add to that. However, I find it funny again, just from my local, not saying modern players as a whole. You know, they literally trade in everything, or used to be, they trade in everything to try the new deck. And the new deck was like, okay, I'm going to try humans, or I'm going to try Tron, or I'm going to try, you know, F you guys, I'm going Gabos, you know. It was just, there was only like 5-6 decks that were the main go-tos. And, you know, sometimes this ban restriction, it screws that up. And I can see why they would get butthurt about it, because now they have to like go buy new cards or make something they're on, you know, that isn't a neck deck. So, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I'm for that. I don't want to see a bunch of degenerates like 27. That's the problem we're running into with the Arena. Like, you know, why haven't they banned Scootstorm? I mean, come on.
Do you like internet?
I'm not familiar.
Okay. Do you like going to a game of Magic the Gathering where your opponent's playing the same deck you're playing?
That's why not always. No, I mean, it's cool because they'll say how strong your deck is against your own mirror. But yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
It's only a mirror match in game one. After game one, you get sideboard, and most of the time, sideboards differ slightly. Whether you're stronger, whether you sideboarded, it's a matter of whether you guessed the meta right, what's in your sideboard. If you sideboarded correctly, thinking that you were going to run across the mirror more often than not, and the person you're playing against didn't, then you'll have a stronger game 2 and 3.
Yeah, he's correct. That's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is, okay, if you do play a mirror match, the first time, it's fun. It's great. It's funny. You know, you're like, wow, man, I want to see how this matches up.
Yeah.
A few more times it's funny, but every game of Magic you play is always against the same deck.
Exactly.
Would you be having fun?
No, of course not.
Okay. And to piggyback off what Josh and Steve said, because Steve hit a good nerve there earlier. He's, make up your mind. Either you're going to print these cards and not ban them. I mean, why print the card and then ban it and then tell me I can't play with that card? I mean, going back a long time ago, I think it was in 2000 when they had Skull Clamp get banned. I looked at my friend and I'm like, dude, you can't play that, it's banned. And he looked at me and we're sitting at my kitchen table. He goes, we're not at a tournament, bro. And I'm like, you know what? All right, fine. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Now I'd be like, oh, dude, it's banned. You know what I mean? But piggybacking off what Josh said, though, you know, I can go speak on those eternal formats. I'm not going to right now.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of data coming into what's going on in Wild West, what I call it right now, with the new call room set.
Right.
As that levels out, you'll see my show will be coming out too with the information. But as a player coming from '93 until now and not taking any breaks, just keeping up with the meta, you understand what Josh was trying to hit a nerve with earlier too. Was look at the bans we had yesteryear and look at the bans we have now.
Yeah,
you're seeing more of an increase with technology with the internet.
Oh yeah.
I remember back in '93 there was no internet. There was no net decking.
Right.
Now you got millions and millions of people playing. You've got a marketing company that's hired by Wizards, which is hired by Hasbro, to market. Every time I turn on Facebook, bro, I've got Magic the Gathering Arena in my face so much that I want to get off Facebook and go play Magic the Gathering Arena.
Right.
You know, they're doing a good job of marketing and kudos, but you got to look at, you know, the way society has changed. You've got 1 million more people, if not 11 more million people playing the game. They all have a laptop in their back pocket. Not to quote them enough. I don't write that song either. But, you know, just to piggyback off what Steve and Josh said, though, it's a different day and age when you got a real thing called the future. I used to be a believer that the future league did not exist, but now I know it exists. You know, just like Josh, you have a friend that works making the packaging materials. I understand. If anybody understands, and I understand.
All right, let me stop you real quick. Okay, go ahead. All right. Let me stop you real quick. I am actually a fan of the ban list. There's a reason why. Especially, they really need, like, standard is beyond broken right now. They really need to fix some things there. I mean, Scoot Swarm with, I forget what the mutator they throw on it. Because, like, when you do the Scoot Swarm, now you're putting out that mutated version. It's a 5/4, and it just goes board wide. Turn, like, 3 or 4, and it's just, dude, you're like 20 of them, you know? That's example, bring gameplay, turn 2 wins. I appreciate it when they step in and go, oh, yeah, this is too much. But it's a financial thing, too, because, I mean, seriously, sorry, I'm a little sidetracked.
That's okay. I just want to finish my sentence, Russ.
Oh, well,
now you look at 50% of the meta.
Yeah, it's the same
after
deck.
They go over 30%, ban that card. There's no color that's stronger than any other color. They balance it out in playtest.
Right.
The fact that you've got the Tibalt trickery is causing this big stink. What about a null? What about miscast? There's a million other ways you can stop the whole trickery on turn 2. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the Scoot Swarm. I've never had a problem with Scoot Swarm. Okay? So people complain about these cards, but yet I don't have a problem with these cards people are complaining about. I don't see standard. If people keep talking about standard, I don't see standard being unhealthy. It's the most healthy I've seen it since what was it called? Kaladesh. Okay, it's the most healthiest. Yeah, it's the most healthiest I've seen since Kaladesh. If any content creator wants to tell me different, I can prove to you with stats. It's the most healthiest it's been since Kaladesh.
Modern's the healthiest it's been in a long time too.
Yeah, I agree with that statement too. You know, I follow the formats. I follow the stats. You know, yeah, I'm that much of a nerd when it comes to the game. You know, but I think that nowadays, when you got so many people with a laptop in their back pocket looking at net decks, you know, millions of people, and they're going, "Hey, Tibalt trickery, let's go!" And it's like, okay, well, you guys want to have 60% of you play with this? It's banned. And I agree with that. I think that keeps it to where we can go with our homebrew decks. I'm playing a Jeskai homebrew right now that's tearing stuff up, you know?
And actually, to go along with that, I think Wizards is actually on record right now saying that during playtest, they no longer playtest for the older formats. They only playtest for standard.
I am not going to confirm that.
I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, that's what I've read in a couple different places, but I can't confirm an original source.
I can see that that's probably where they're going to go if they're not already going that way, because it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, there's a niche group of people who only play 93 format. If you guys don't know that's a format, that really is a format.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's a niche market for the 93 format, let alone legacy or vintage. You know, I'm not in that category, even though my friends are. You know, but modern, there's a lot of people playing modern. Standard, that's probably the heaviest format, if not commander.
Yeah. Well,
why?
I think
because of the money dream. Because of the money dream. There's the hype. You can win $250,000.
Yeah. Well, that I think is a time for another MTG Round Table, to be honest.
It used to not be that way. You used to have to be able to play the tour to be able to get that kind of winning money. But now that everything's going digital, it's open to the regular Mom Jane and Dad Smith. You know,
to piggyback off that too, with the new structure they got too, the MPL, the Rival League, and the Challenger Series. You know, it's like, okay, I see what they're doing, and I see how their PR is. You know, CYA. Can I say that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't want to go on a rant. I'm going to stop there.
Okay. John rant? No. Yeah. No. My thing is like, I had a problem and I stopped playing. It was a super fun game. I mean, it was awesome. Was Star Wars Destiny. That's where you had it was similar to Magic and the color aspect. But you would get into there was only 3 decks that would even make it to meta, and I mean that was it. Those were the decks. I see that a lot. Now the meta, I'm probably seeing maybe just playing bronze the other day, just bronze, mind you. I only saw 5 decks. That was it. Was either
okay. I hear this. I hear this a lot, Russ.
Yeah.
Right now in the current meta, you're not seeing it, but there's 56 decks in the current meta.
Okay.
And that's what I was saying earlier when you were talking about problems with Arena, that if you have a certain deck, they typically pair that deck up in the pairing queues with 5 to 6 decks paired against it. So therefore, if there's 50 decks in the meta, you're still, if you run that same deck over and over and over again, you're going to see the same 5 or 6 decks with the way that they do queuing in Arena.
I see.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up you either, Russ, because I can name these decks to you one by one, man. I get it all the time in Discord groups, Facebook groups. People just put a Facebook post. It's like, maybe you don't know what you're talking about because there's not. I'm not talking about you, Russ. I'm talking about people in general. It's like, do you guys not realize how many decks are in the meta right now? And these are tier decks, guys. I'm not talking about. There's not just what is it called? Boros Burn or Simic Adventures. There's more decks than what you think. Oh, Rogues or the Turn 2 Tibalt. It's like, no, there's right now I'm looking at 56 decks in standard meta right now.
That are diamond? That are mythic?
They're all mythic, bud. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, guys, I go for hours and hours and hours, but this has been a very fun experience doing this roundtable discussion, and I think we should do it again next Thursday if anyone's available. We'll kind of branch out and see who wants to join in. I know we got a little off on the modern topic, but I think we'll probably address that a little bit more formal next time on the ban restricted list, because there's that we could talk 10 different shows just on that alone. So I will try to narrow my questions down a little bit better next time. Definitely. But anything else you want to say before we move on here?
I appreciate you guys Russ, I appreciate you putting this together and the people that you've put together in this chat. I've enjoyed speaking with you guys tonight. I haven't got to talk this much about Magic for months now, and this has been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, and I've learned a lot from you guys, for sure. And Justin, you and I have been probably the most quiet. Well, you mostly, because we're not the formats we're playing. Yeah.
I've learned a lot, man.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you having me on this.
For sure. And I did throw some links down below, guys, for you guys just tuning in or that have been hanging here this whole duration. Please do go subscribe to these guys. Again, I'm a big firm believer. All of us working together, we should all have the same subs. One, it's cool. Like I said, you go into a chat for like Peddler, and we're seeing the same people. So we're like, hey, what's up, Dobby? What's up, 570? We're like, we're developing this community, and I think it's awesome. And I hope that we can continue to develop this community that we've essentially all started. I think that's awesome. And Justin, I really appreciate you popping in. I know it's kind of weird. I didn't mean to take over your live stream, but I'm like, hey, what are you doing Thursday? Let's do it.
No worries at all, man. No worries. This is cool.
Steve, did you have anything you wanted to end?
Just that I really appreciate the chat, the invite, had a lot of fun, and I also learned quite a bit talking to you guys about some of the decks and cards and playability of the game, and the statistics of it. I followed some of the stats, but not nearly as that in depth. Appreciate the information.
Yeah, I'm pretty
And I
guilty and as charged that way. I'm an engineer by career, so I'm all statistics and probabilities.
Yeah, I have a math minor. I'm a huge numbers guy. Unfortunately, I'm not afforded the time. I look into when I get into it, I do go full blown into it. I was actually talking to one of the LGSs to try and find out when if there was any insight of when they might start doing safe events again, because I was looking at potentially playing professionally. So, but the numbers I'm not all in all the numbers, but I do appreciate and understand all the statistics that were brought up tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to end by saying, Russ, this is one of the I don't know what kind of epiphany you had to get this created, but
No kidding.
This is by far the best project I've ever seen you work on. Had me involved with, or even me know about. But hats off to you. What fairy came and told you about this? But hey, man, I appreciate the diversity you have on here.
Yeah.
The different opinions, and the fact that none of us are trying to blow smoke up anybody. And even Justin, he's been quiet, but he's brought up a few good points, man. And just the collection. And I think we should all grow together.
Yeah.
And with us all sharing, that should help out too if we all share this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I had some big names that were going to join us. Hopefully, I can coordinate better in the following weeks. But yeah, if you guys want to shoot again for it, I typically like to start at 6, but that's late for East Coasters, so I could stick it at 5 again. It'd just be bright with my little display here is all. So let me know if you guys are. What happened?
Thanks for having me on, bud.
Oh yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I'm not really emotionally late isn't really my vocabulary.
Yeah, me neither. I'm a night owl.
I'm ready to do this next Thursday.
All right, sounds like a plan. We'll incorporate some more people and see what's up. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. And hopefully we'll bring up that 4 to 10 max. Hopefully we'll get that viewership up. That'll be pretty cool. And yeah, it's all about getting bigger, getting better, and being awesome. Well, thank you guys again for joining me. And I hope you guys all have an awesome night. We will catch you next Thursday. And now I got to get back to editing. All right, you guys rock.
Have a good evening, guys.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Nice meeting all of you.
For sure.
It's been a pleasure.
All right. Later, y'all. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.